James.
It's Jeremy.
It's Rob Tremonti.
And we got a special guest today,
Feeling very special, Christian Reyes.
Christian Reyes,
Hey.
local legend.
Oh, not a legend.
That's what I
Not
hear,
a legend.
actually.
Local-
What are you saying? You're like a legend in this town.
He's a big deal.
Oh man,
He's like
that's a
Uncle
little bit
Rico,
of-
bro, from Napoleon Dynamite.
The legend's fading out, man. It's been a few years.
Yeah.
It's still there, dude. You gotta believe in yourself.
The people forget about you real quick around here.
Oh, they do, man. They
They're
do.
like, who?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Anyway, we got Christian Reyes. He's a buddy of ours, ex D1 football player, NFL prospect.
Good time, man.
Used to be a sponsored athlete in the fitness industry.
Oh yeah, for a short while, man. Lasted what, like 3 months?
Insta famous for a couple weeks.
I tried, man. I retired probably 6 months into it, something like that. It's a good career, man.
Give him a brief history. Who you are, Christian. Just quick synopsis.
Quick synopsis. Grew up in Rogue River, Oregon, basically since the age of 7. Just had a passion for sports. Played all kinds of sports: football, baseball, basketball, ran track, and chose to play football in college.
Where'd you play?
I I played at Rogue River High School, which obviously is not, if anyone knows Rogue River, which most of the people that probably listen to this probably not, unless they're local. It's a very small school. Getting recruited out of there was awful. No one knew really how to help me. I didn't know how to help myself. So I ended up going the JUCO route. So I went down to College of the Siskiyous, which is in Weed, California, northern part of California. Was there for 2 seasons, and then ended up getting a scholarship to play out at a school called Charleston Southern in Charleston, South Carolina, which is a Division I AA school in the Big South.
There you go. What happened after that? Tried to go NFL.
I did, yeah. So I played there for 2 seasons. My junior year, I mean, if we're just gonna be honest, because now I can be honest, you know.
Yeah.
My junior year was kind of put me on the map as far as over in that conference and kind of with scouts. So I had a lot of people looking at me after my junior year. I had rushed for like, I don't know, 1,254 yards, something like that, which was like the single season rushing record for Charleston Southern. They weren't a
Just say
they weren't a very good
Just
program.
say you were dope.
Listen, so they weren't a very good program prior to myself getting there, and some of the guys in my recruiting class for that year. They actually won 2 games the year before I got there. The year before that, they were 0-11.
wow.
And rarely ever broke 500. And the coach that actually recruited me out of Siskiyous, I ended up retiring the day before I was supposed to fly out to South Carolina. So after I signed my commitment, I had an opportunity to back out and go somewhere else where I had other offers too. But for whatever reason, at the time, I was married in college. After my freshman year, I had a kid, and I didn't want to freak out my wife, and because she was already ready to go, type of thing. And moving across country from Oregon all the way to South Carolina was a big move. Seriously. And so I didn't want to, stir it up even more. So I kind of just didn't even tell her that he retired at first, and just kind of went and got a feel for it out there. And the coach that ended up, Coach Chadwell, Jamie Chadwell, who's now with Coastal Carolina, which is an FBS school, kind of just really changed up the culture there. And it was part of my recruiting class. And along with Coach Chadwell being there, we kind of turned the program around. We started off 10-0. The first game we beat like our crosstown rival, which is the Citadel, which a lot of people probably know the Citadel over Charleston Southern. And it was like a crazy ass win. I can cuss on here, right?
Yeah,
I
go
can
ahead. Say fuck, do whatever.
Did you just say ass?
Yeah.
No way.
Hey, crazy ass win. I mean, we were losing by like 3 touchdowns in the first half and came all the way back and won with the last minute field goal. Damn. And that kind of sparked our whole season. We ended up going 10-0, and then we picked up our first loss was to Colorado, University of Colorado. And then we lost our last 2 games after that and didn't win our conference like we were expected to do, which was awful. But I had a good rushing year and kind of put me on the map. And at that time, obviously, anyone that plays college ball, you have a dream of playing in the NFL. So that's kind of where I thought I was going to end up and kind of get a head start and, obviously make some money and get ahead in life type of thing. And going into my senior year, I was just the type of running back I was kind of a downhill, run you over first and make you miss second type of guy. So I took a lot of hits and gave a lot of hits. And so going into my senior year, I was never like fully recovered. I had a list of injuries that I just kind of kept playing through the main one was like, which I still have, as a grade 3 separation in my right shoulder that never healed. I was told that it was like a grade 1 separation that would heal on its own. It happened the last game of the season, our conference championship game. I ended up getting a shot in my shoulder to keep playing at halftime, and just kind of destroyed it after that. So woke up the next morning.
Blue shit right there.
Couldn't really move it, and then over the course of summer workouts and stuff, like obviously when you have an AC injury, you can't really bench or anything like that, like crazy heavy. So I just kept thinking it would go away over time. It never did. So finally, when I went and told like my trainer, like, it's not going away like we expected it to, I need to get this thing freaking X-rayed and get it looked at. Turned out to be grade 3. So I had an option to get surgery and sit out and redshirt, or just to play through. And it was like a month before the season, and I just decided to play when I.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know if I should have or not, but so it
You
kind of
sent it.
Yeah, it kind of it kind of changed my running style my senior year. Like anytime anyone would be on my right side, I would not. I would try to avoid running them over if I laying the shoulder. So, that kind of affected me my senior year. So, I guess if being honest, I didn't live up to expectations. People thought I'd rush for like 1,800, a lot of yards my senior year, and I came up short essentially. And that was the first season I've ever sat out a game. So I pulled my calf. I think it was the game before Vanderbilt, so I had to sit out against an SEC team, which was like a big game for me that I had to like run all over them to.
Yeah, that's like a big scout game.
Yeah, so that kind of hurt me, and then a few other things, but mainly like injuries, and that's probably my biggest downfall is not letting my body heal. I've always been someone that just freaking works through whatever, and so that affected my senior year.
I think most football players are like that.
Yeah,
you have that mindset,
especially at like the D1 level. Like you have to play. Like if you don't play, there's somebody. There's somebody that they're gonna bring in that is gonna pass you, or they'll find somebody next year that's gonna pass you.
Oh yeah, man. And that was the thing, especially if we had like freaking probably the best running backs in our conference, like as far as a group of guys, and a dude that ended up beating. I held the all-time leading rushing record.
Just saying.
In 2 seasons. I will, to give myself a little bit of credit, I did it in 2 seasons. The guy that ended up passing me up was Mike Holloway. Very good dude, very good running back. Ended up passing me up his senior year. But I still hold like the single season rushing record, which granted, it's 1,254 yards. There's plenty of schools that have
higher
more
records.
Yeah. But the type of offense it really wasn't for me. Like, I'm a power eye, a zone type of guy, power eye type of guy. We played the triple option. I mean, it was cool. I mean, we won games and stuff. But if
triple option's sick.
Yeah,
it's cool in NCAA. Like,
yeah, man. If I had to pick an offense, not for me, man. But I mean, it was a lot of fun, man. Yeah.
So you said you were a downhill running back. Like, what size were you playing at?
Yeah, so I mean, if we just go through the stages, man. In high school, I was like,
in your prime.
Yeah, how big were you?
220, man. 220.
And you're like what, 5'6"?
Oh man,
nah, 5'4".
5'4".
No, I started off at like 5'10", man. After enough hits, I started measuring at like 5'9". Yeah, man,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's
it's true though. You shrink a little bit.
Yeah,
all that compressions.
Yeah, man.
So then after college, try to make the NFL thing happen.
Yeah, so so after college, you have, for people that don't know, generally what you'll have is you can choose to, generally you want to find an agent. I was blessed to get an agent that was pretty big, represented some big ass guys in freaking the NFL that I was surprised he even wanted to represent me. But he did, and it was good and bad because I was kind of like maybe someone not high up on his list out of guys that he was representing.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, like I knew it in the beginning, he was already representing another running back from the Sun Belt Conference, and generally you want to go with an agent that like you're the only player in that position, so he's actually like you're his number one guy that he's trying to get recruited. But I was kind of blind in the fact that I was like, by what he would say to me, like, oh, you'll at least make league minimums next year, and talking dollar signs and all that kind of thing. So I was just like, hell yeah, let's
you were entranced by the money.
Yeah. So first you find an agent, and generally like if they're big enough, they'll send you like, he wanted to send me to like workout camps. Like there's like Tom Shaw, that's probably the biggest one that a lot of people know. It's down in like Florida, but and I wanted to graduate obviously because I knew if I didn't want to be one of those guys that dropped out. went to go train at some freaking camp for like 3 months to get ready for the combine and stuff, and then not make it, and then you got to go back to school and finish out that.
Just hella embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
So no, I stayed and kind of self-trained, and he like provided me this workout plan that I followed, but I added a bunch of stuff or like took out stuff I didn't like, but.
So you didn't follow it.
He made his own damn program. He's like, fuck this.
No. There's a lot of good stuff out of there, and then I would work out with people, which you've met Skylar Skurzik. Obviously, he plays arena football now for Miami, whichever arena team.
He's pretty big, right?
Yeah, he's
now?
a pretty big dude. But no, he's making good
killing
money
it
now.
in the AFL.
Yeah, he is. But no, I worked out with him, a dude named Elijah Lee, and we just freaking trained like crazy. And Skylar's bigger than I am, so it allowed me to push more weight. Yeah. Eli was more like, the dude I trained with was more like explosive, so I just tried to surround myself with people that would push me both ways. And so I trained that way, found an agent, was training, and then you kind of get ready for like the NFL combines. So you can sign up for regionals. Obviously, there's like the invitational combine, which I didn't get an invite to.
That's like the one that's on TV
like,
and stuff.
Yeah, that's the big one in Indy.
And then there's like regional combines, and you pay money to like go to those type of thing.
I did that one.
Yeah. And
how much is that?
I don't know. I forget how much it was.
I think they're on average it's like $100, $120 something.
Okay.
But then it depends where it is.
Yeah, you
like,
gotta pay to fly there.
You gotta go there. I think the one I went to was in LA.
Yeah. And it's just and my agent recommended I didn't go, but I wish I would have gone to one of those regional combines.
I don't know. I think some of those are kind of like it's just like a money grab.
Well, they kind of are, yeah. I mean, a lot of people say that's mainly what they are, is like for them to make some money, but
very few dudes get picked up.
There's one
to
like 3 guys that get like a legit look out of those, so it's like just another opportunity. It's another time.
If you're fucking dope, you'll get a look.
Yeah.
But if you're just like average, it's just a money grab.
Yeah, it's another opportunity to get numbers, like combine numbers. So. But then you get ready for a pro day. Hopefully, you're a school where the scouts want to come to your school, and essentially you'll probably have, for us, we thought we'd have like 5 scouts come to Charleston Southern, and anyone on our team has an opportunity to work out in front of these scouts. So myself and a dude named Clayton Truitt, who's like our best lineman, graduating with me, we ended up going to Coastal Carolina's pro day, which is, if anyone knows them, they were like the number 1 team in our conference generally every year, except for when we played them. Most of the time we beat them. Anyways,
just saying, you just throwing these subtle flexes.
But now they're in the Sun Belt.
I just like have the whole time rushing record.
No, man.
I just run people over.
Just kind of suck. Really,
they're tight until I play them and beat them.
No. It was a group effort, man.
All right.
And so Clayton and I ended up going there, and so on our pro day, no scouts showed up to our school.
That's helpful on the spot.
But yeah,
that's super helpful.
And it might have been, there's a lot of talk about it. Like it might have been because they already knew we're going to Coastal's pro day, which is the week after.
You were the guys only.
Yeah.
Really
there's another dude named Damaris Freeman who tore his ACL at I went to an All-Star game. Oh, that was the other thing I forgot. You go to an All-Star, you sign up somewhere to go to an All-Star game. So I went to.
Damn, that sucks.
I don't remember what All-Star game it was, but yeah. It was that's bad.
He tore his ACL in
warm-ups, man. In warm-ups, the first day. Yeah, he tore his ACL, and he was probably the biggest prospect coming. He had his entire family was in the NFL, so we were kind of counting on him to bring scouts too.
Damn.
So he tore his ACL. We ended up going to Coastal, and for me, I mean, all excuses aside, my biggest thing has always been my 40-yard dash.
Yeah.
Ever since I got up to like 220-ish, I've always been right around the 4.6 to high 4.5 area, and so I already knew I wasn't a guy. I don't have a second gear when it comes to running away from people. I know I'm quick to get to 40, and that's, I can run away from some guys, but the guys that freaking have a second gear, I hate to say it, but I know they're gonna catch me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But and so that's been my biggest downfall, or was my biggest downfall, and so the 40-yard dash is like a make it or break it type of thing when it came to me running at these pro days and stuff. So when I went to Coastal, I didn't run a good time. Everything else was perfectly fine. I had a couple of scouts talk to me. I think the Carolina Panthers and the Broncos. When it came to like my broad jump, I jumped like a 10.5, and that's when it put me on the map. When they were like, all right, who does this dude play for? Where's he from? Yeah. And so that and my vertical.
What was your vert?
My vert was 38 at that day. So And so then, but when it came to the 40, the running conditions weren't that good. I mean, it's a little wet outside. It was raining, but we ran anyways.
Into the wind.
Yeah, so I think I ran like a fucking I ran like a 4.65 and a 4.68, like awful times. Yeah. And so that it was shitty after that. So after that happened, like I kind of predicted it would happen. My agent was like, all right, kind of didn't really work for me after that. Even though he would play like he would.
He kind of just, he went to the back burner.
Yeah, kind of went to the back burner. So I kind of took things into my own hands. And it was just a grind from then, just trying to like freaking reach out to any contacts I had, coaches that had contacts, getting NFL emails, like coaches' emails, just freaking sending them private email. Like I was obsessed with just sending film, all my content to whoever.
So you basically just took it into your own hands.
I took it in my own hands.
That's what you got to do sometimes.
Well, that's the beauty of like the day and age we live in. You could do that kind of stuff.
You can get in contact with anybody.
Yeah, you can make your own YouTube video and just fucking send it to anybody
like
you want.
Like that one dude that was just outside the Houston Texans stadium, just holding the sign, and he went trending on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And he actually got a workout. That's funny because that was the same year I came out, so it was like. It was one of those things like, shit, should I go try
that? Should I do that too?
Up at Seattle Seahawks or what?
Just set up a tent outside the Raiders?
Yeah, no, it's sick. But no, what happened on my pro day, I did have workouts lined up with the Broncos and the Jets for like to come up to their facility and kind of compete with some other running backs. I ended up tweaking my hamstring on a wheel route after the 40 and everything. We were doing routes in front of the scouts and everything. And it was like the second to last route I ran, and I did a wheel route, and like towards the end of it, it was like, I don't know, like 40 yards downfield or whatever. Like I lunged for the ball and like kind of overextended and tweaked my hamstring a little bit. 2 weeks later, I had a CFL tryout, the one that you pay for, so it's nothing crazy. And it was, but I knew I shouldn't have done it. But part of me was like, if NFL doesn't work out, I needed like a plan B, And so I went there, and immediately right when I ran the 40, I freaking completely pulled my hamstring. So it was like, and then I had it. Yeah. So it didn't help me. And then like when I had those workouts, I had to tell my agent like, dude, I went to, and he told me not to go to the CFL workout, but I went anyways.
Oh.
And so that kind of like.
I feel like you're supposed to listen to your agent.
He's like, I didn't follow his workout plan.
Fuck the workout plan. Fuck your advice.
I did the workout plan and I did more. All right. So I don't want to.
Took out what you didn't want to do.
I don't understand why this guy didn't help you.
I made shit harder. All right. I promise I did. And, so I had to tell him that, and which kind of basically took me off his list
he got
of
pissed
guys.
probably after that.
And so, and then from then it was like a race to try to get healthy, to try to get into like a mini camp or anything to try to get onto a practice squad or anything like that. And I just couldn't do it. Anytime I try to come back or like go to a workout, I would just retweak it over and over and over again.
Hamstrings are fucked, dude.
And so I ended up moving back. 2015 I graduated and then kept trying to get healthy and like go to these minor workouts, and it just never healed. So I ended up moving back to good old Rogue River. And that's where I met Jay Mooney, man.
Yeah, when I first saw you online and stuff, you were hanging out with Mooney. You guys were doing those workouts and all the football based stuff, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Because you look like a tank, but you're moving like Barry Sanders, fucking breaking my ankles as I'm on the couch.
Oh god.
And I'm like, I don't know. I just figured like this dude, if he can just get a shot, he can probably prove himself. So
what are your best numbers?
Numbers?
Let's go bench, squat, clean.
Oh gosh. Bench. That's for debate. You say 425. I say 410.
We did 425 that one time.
All right, 425. We'll go with 425.
Squat.
225 bench reps.
Yeah.
I did officially 30 on my pro day. I've hit 32, but it wasn't at like a pro day or like officially.
It's not bad.
Squat.
It's all right.
Squat would be 550. Like full clean, 385.
Oh.
Deadlifts, I'm not. Man.
I'm
not a deadlifter.
We don't need deadlift numbers.
I do.
Only 700.
Best 40.
40 when I first got after my freshman year of Siskiyous, I only weighed like 208, 210.
Yeah.
I ran a 444. And then as I gained weight, I would run like a 4. Actually, the last free agent workout I went to was up in Portland area of Oregon. This retired quarterback put on this workout for a bunch of us free agents. And I ran a 4.52, and I weighed like 222, 224 right in there. And that was like at the peak of our like
that was
lifting
the peak
time.
of when we were working. We were getting ready for that.
We were like training, I don't know, 5 hours out of the entire it was crazy, man. What was that? 40 vertical, 38 and a half. Broad jump 10.5. Shuttle 4.08 official. I've unofficially done a 4 flat. L drill. I've done I'm a religious guy, so I don't like 666, but I've ran a 666 time on the L drill, man, if we're being honest, man.
Sick.
Yeah, man. So I say 6.67. Okay. Which, like, for my size and everything, like, they're legit ass numbers, and
those are big
I know
numbers.
they are. But I just, anytime I had a perfect opportunity to kind of seize the moment type of thing, I don't know, just wouldn't line up, man.
The NFL is tough, dude.
Yeah.
The NFL's tough. I know a ton of dudes that I played with that are like the best athletes I've ever seen. Like, that just one thing happened, they never panned out. I know I played with a dude. He ran a legit 4.2 at every single workout he went to.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, awesome hands, good routes. Went into a mini camp one time, pulled his hamstring. He's been playing arena ball ever since. Never got another shot.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
He still runs a legit 4.2.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
But it's crazy. The NFL is tough. People don't realize how hard it is. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I get frustrated when I watch football with like people that haven't played football at like a high level, and they like go, "That guy fucking sucks."
Oh no.
Like, no, that dude's legit.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
you're obviously not pursuing the NFL anymore.
nah, man.
Correct. So like, do you remember the moment where you're like, okay, I'm totally done with this?
Yep.
And like, how did that feel?
Yeah. So when I moved back, I will just go back to how I met Jay Moody and how we're in the circle here. So I moved back, started working out at a gym. I won't name the gym. I started working out at a gym
we won't name.
Yeah, gym we won't
Fuck
name.
that place.
And started working out there. Jay Mooney was a trainer there. I remember kind of, sizing him up a little bit like anyone kind of does when you see someone that's kind of big, and just working out there. And I remember it was chest day. He was on the bench and he asked me to lift with him. Or he was like, what are you hitting today? I was like, chest. He's like, I'm hitting chest. It was a little awkward workout, but we got it in, man. And then every once in a while we started picking it up, started working out more and more together. So I just moved back and was just training like crazy, trying to get healthy. Obviously, anyone that knows Jay Mooney, he's big on like mobility and like.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Yeah. So like that helped me out a ton, kind of teaching me all that. And when I moved back, I was kind of just in that free agent area. I ended up picking up a new agent that my friends Skylar and Eli both shared. I won't name his name, and I don't know if he would want me to or not, but he was he was a hustler. He was completely honest with me. He would, any type of thing, any email or type of content that he'd send anyone, he would send it to me too, so I knew he was like working for me.
That's cool.
Anytime someone would send something back to him, whether it's positive or negative, he would send it to me, so I knew
That's
like he was
super
getting
cool.
stuff. So that was good, and he lined some stuff up for me, and I was in like a different boat than like Skylar and Eli or some of the other guys might be, because I had, I've been married since my freshman year of college.
You got people to take care of.
And my son, or my oldest son, now I got 2. So I couldn't just pick up and move to the East Coast and go play for Arena or somewhere else, or like pick up and somehow come up with this cash to go fly out to wherever to go to this workout, So I needed it to be like a legit workout, not me just paying like $100 to go
CFL
do this
tryouts.
type of thing, unless it was close. So there's this league called Major League Football that came up. Jay Mooney remembers this. There's a workout up in at the Oregon Stadium that I went to, and it's called Major League Football, and they like kind of advertise it as like this developmental league for the NFL that was supposed to be coming out. And there's some big name guys, like retired NFL guys or retired NFL coaches that kind of were involved with it, trying to kind of blow it up type of thing. And so I killed the workout, and 3 months later they ended up having a draft for like the 8 teams that they had around the U.S.
Oh, shit.
And it was all done on Twitter. I ended up getting drafted to the Eugene team, which was obviously for me, I was stoked. I was like, hey, I'm gonna be
That's
close
tight.
to home type of thing,
This is crazy.
you know, they said it like paid good money. It was like $2,500 every game with like performance
That's
incentives.
good money. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's way more money than Arena League.
Yeah. And so they would like put you up, and I remember like going to the workouts, like they were, you know, some of these guys that like were retired NFL guys, they'd be like, I'm surprised like you're not on at least on a practice squad, you know what I'm saying? So they built my head a little bit, and I'm like, fuck.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
So at that time, I remember coming back and being frustrated with Jay Moody, man, and like just be like, dude, I can't believe I haven't had my opportunity, like full opportunity there, on at least on a practice squad type of thing. Just kind of feeling myself a little too much. I don't know. But
what's his confidence?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
When we were working out together, you were pretty freakish, so it was kind of it surprised all of us that you weren't on a squad.
Well,
you got to be confident in yourself. I mean, you know exactly how good you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, man. You play against, especially like whether it's D2, D1 AA, D3, D1 FBS level type of thing. Like you play against guys that end up making it into the league, and some guys for sure you're better than, or some guys that you're a little surprised they made it, and then obviously there's some that you know should be there type of thing. So I knew like plenty of guys that I'm, you know, that I was better than.
Just
so
you can
like,
say it, dude. It's
so
not
that I knew I was better than. So it's kind of like one of those things. Like I didn't care like who I worked out with. I didn't care if they're like freaking the number one running back in the NFL or like number one linebacker type of thing. I was in the mindset of like, I knew I could play with those guys type of thing. So I was like looking
you
for
have.
I
feel like if you don't have that mindset,
Yeah.
you're not going to make it anyway. So
No way.
So I got drafted to that league, and it was supposed to be a for sure thing type of thing. What happened was they had this investor that backed out, essentially, is what they said. So like 2 weeks before we were supposed to fly out for camp, which all 8 teams were gonna have camp in this Miami, Florida complex that they built. We're supposed to fly out in 2 weeks. They sent out a letter basically saying that the investor backed out. They're going to try again next year type of thing. And that was, I think that was, August?
Yeah, it was
2016?
midsummer.
Something like that? Or, yeah, maybe no, actually, that might have been March.
Oh, yeah,
I think
it was before, it was before summer.
So it was like March of 2016. That fell through. And at that time, I was kind of just doing odd job works, like, you know, we were fortunate enough to live in a house that my wife's family owned, and we were like paying like minimal rent type of thing. And,
oh, nice.
You know, because everyone kind of supported my dream of trying to make it to the NFL.
Yeah.
You know?
Everyone wanted you to make it. Everyone thought you could make it. So.
Yeah, and so they're helping me out, and that was kind of like one of the last straws, second to the last straw.
Oh shit.
And you know, and at that time I knew like, you know, my wife's pretty supportive, and she's kind of traveled everywhere with me everywhere I go, and she's kind of put everything of her dreams on the back burner, you know, for me to kind of play ball. So
yeah,
I was kind of getting tired of putting her through everything. And so when that fell through, and, you know, anyone that's kind of chased any type of dream like that, you know, there's a lot of ups and downs. You know, there's like times like, oh, this is going to be the workout, or this is going to be the connect I need type of thing. So that kind of was a big blow. And then the coach, I could probably find his name, but the coach for the Oregon team, who is a retired quarterback, felt bad for all the guys that kind of got drafted, you know, so he like put on this free agent camp and was going to put everyone's film together.
And Jeremy's leaving.
Jeremy's got to go. Jeremy's got to go work.
I got to bounce, you guys.
Got to go make some money.
I got to go make some money. Peace.
Goodbye, man. Sorry for talking, man. Later.
CJ.
See you next time, man. Don't forget your sunglasses right there, man. Anyways.
So he put on this little workout for you guys.
Free agent workout on. And it was pretty like legit. Like he had like all like laser time stuff, and some big like retired coaches and shit up there. So ran good ass times. I was looking the most fit I possibly could at that time. Like I probably haven't been in that good of shape ever.
We were on another level at that time, bro.
Were there like legit NFL scouts there and everything?
Well, there's like retired coaches. They technically weren't scouts, but they all had like connections to scouts and stuff.
So they could like text their homie in the NFL or something.
And so we like would put our film together from that and like all pieces of our highlight tape that we've had from college, and then he would send it out. And he lined up this workout with the Raiders that was supposed to happen. And so I was kind of getting ready for that, and then it fell through. And so that was like the last straw I had. And so then I just like, shit, I got to get a job, like a legit job. Yeah. I ended up
God forbid.
Working, yeah, God
Sucks.
forbid, man.
Wait, hold
Working,
on.
selling some insurance, man.
What's your favorite NFL team?
The Raiders, man.
Damn.
Okay, good save.
Yeah.
Damn.
The Raiders, man. Yeah.
Just say it if you guys need to run it back.
The man's still in shape.
Yeah.
Oh no, man.
He just hit 365 or 375 close grip before we got in here.
That's my regular grip, man.
Whatever, it's close grip for most
Warm up.
people. Yeah, warm up weight.
I feel out of shape though, man. I'm not gonna lie.
That's all right. Fuck. He's still got abs though. He's
Just
still.
more-
I don't.
This dude came in and he was like, "I'm out of shape." And he
Bro.
lifted up his shirt. He still got 6-pack.
Looking like
Listen.
Mr. O.
Like, still shredded.
I don't deserve
I don't
it.
care if you say you're
I
not
don't
shredded, bro. You
deserve
got
it,
a
man.
full 6-pack and you got bicep veins, man.
Deserve
Don't be
I
talking
don't
about how you're
deserve
not
it, man.
in shape right
if
now.
I'm being honest, man, I don't deserve them.
I'm not worth
I
it.
know, you don't deserve it after all the bullshit you eat, but
Hey, man.
the man's got some solid genetics.
Exactly. That's what it is, man.
So have you had any like family members kind of go through the same thing, or like college football or college sports or
No.
anything?
So my older brother, he ended up he's a dumbass.
Just say it.
He had a football opportunity to play at like Idaho. He played in his senior year, transferred to Idaho, ended up getting some scholarship offers, and he's more focused on partying and shit. Ended up stealing some cars and going to prison.
Oh,
and
wow.
losing his opportunity or going to jail. At
That's
that time.
crazy,
Yeah,
dude.
so he did some time and got out. Now he makes a lot of money and kind of got his head on straight. So, but that's the only other. I mean, generally everyone in my family plays a sport or has, but
Like are your parents athletic as shit too?
my dad. I mean, he just kind of played soccer.
Your dad
Dad's
grinds.
Mexican,
Your dad
man,
works
you know,
out pretty hard though.
He's border hopped and didn't get caught, man. You know what I'm saying? So if he can do that, then he's good, man.
He's good, bro.
Hey, he's legal now, man. He's legal.
That's all that matters, man. Hey, you don't gotta explain yourself to us,
Hey,
man.
that's pretty athletic, right?
No, that's
Oh yeah, the border's high as fuck.
yeah, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I've always been involved in sports, and
Okay.
So after the football thing ended, you got kind of into the fitness industry thing.
oh yeah. So
What happened? What
coming
happened with
back,
that?
Jay Mooney inspired me to kind of try to get Insta famous for a little bit.
You guys' content was fucking flames.
Hey, man.
So
Yeah. So
you recognize fast.
Yeah,
I
if you
came
want
back.
to scroll back to 2015 on my Instagram,
Yeah.
there's some solid content in there.
Shit, there's even a video of Mooney and Christian working out on the Gunsmith YouTube channel,
oh, that's true, man.
which is the channel. If you're watching this, you're on it right now.
Yeah. So after this video, if you're
scroll
watching
down.
this on the YouTubes, go check it out.
That's a good video, man. I might have to try to make a comeback. Maybe, I don't know.
Today's day one.
You know, today's a good
The
workout.
thumbnail for that video is insane, by the way.
Yeah,
too.
it's-
Even if you don't watch the video, just look at the thumbnail.
Yeah. No Photoshop was
No,
involved.
there's no Photoshop. That's all
that's
real.
yeah.
That's a good bit. Good thumbnail.
Anyway, so you started getting involved
So I
in the
came
Instagram
back.
fitness grind.
I saw Jay Mooney kind of getting some free freaking supplements and shit, and I'm sitting over here paying $200 a month on my damn supplements. So I go, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
And so he just kind of explained to me like what he does. And for me, like I was always kind of a modest guy, kind of, always try to be extremely humble and all that type of thing. Cause
Well, I can tell just by you speaking on this podcast that you're a pretty humble guy.
hey, thanks, man. I've kind of said
Like
some-
we all know you're a fucking sick
I've said
running back, and
some
you say it like, I don't know, it wasn't that good. I just broke every record of the world. Whatever.
No, man. I don't know. It's kind of hard to talk about myself sometimes, but
I'm the same way. I hate talking about myself.
yeah. And so I saw, he would like post pictures and like the whole 5% nutrition thing at the time. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but that was just kind of his startup there. And then now he started his own company with you, and you two started Gunsmith type of thing. So he kind of showed me the ropes, and I was like, shit, man, maybe I can do that. And so I just kind of started posting. I think the first thing I did was like a box jump.
79
Don't
inches.
just say box, dude. You jumped out of the fucking gym, man.
Yeah, well, I don't remember how high I was.
It was
but
like
that was the
80,
first
86
thing.
inches.
Yeah.
And then just kind of went from there, man. And all of it was like completely out of my comfort zone, like posting about myself and all that type of thing.
Yeah.
You kind of get used to it. And then there's a company. Should I name the company or no?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
name it.
Monster-
It's not a real company anymore.
Yeah,
so.
Monsters in Training. They like had this like competition for the next
Like an
sponsored athlete.
Yeah, athlete search.
And so you had to use their logos and their hashtags and all that type of stuff to kind of add it to your content and kind of build up their brand type of thing. And so like I kind of got into that late into their competition, and then I just kind of killed it, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, you won
for
it.
sure.
And it was like a $5,000 reward, which I didn't get all $5,000, but
Just
We'll get into that. We'll get into that in a
that's
second.
the interesting part, dude.
and so
So you won their athlete search.
I won their athlete search.
Okay.
And they ended up flying me out to Denver to do like a photo shoot and kind of teach me more about the company and kind of motivate me to kind of sell more.
So you were like, this is fucking legit.
Yeah, it's legit.
That sounds legit as shit. Like you get a plane ticket out somewhere, like photo shoot.
Yeah.
Did they put you up in a hotel or something?
They put me up in one of the houses that they owned. It was like this townhome downtown. That they owned.
So you were like, dude, I fucking made it.
Dude, that's like
I knew it was
99% of the people listening to this are like, that's like the dream, like getting picked up by a supplement company, clothing company.
It was legit, man.
Yeah.
Like the guys involved in the company, I knew they had good intentions. Like, you know, they really kind of built the company from ground up type of thing, like you guys are doing with Gunsmith. And so they, flying me out there, like it was kind of all surreal and, you know,
for sure.
And basically the way, like I won the $5,000 and the structure of the $5,000 was like every month they would give me $1,000 type of thing.
That's not bad.
It was based off like their revenue that they would get. And, but, you know, flying me out there and kind of meeting everyone and like doing a full on photo shoot in this like studio and putting me up and like doing shit outside. Like we went to Red Rocks.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did some stuff
That's
out
a
there.
cool video. Were you the only athlete there, or were there other athletes?
I was the only like sponsored athlete that would get like free supplements and get paid type of thing.
But there were other athletes
that
were there?
There was people who would like, wear the brand and like have a discount code to like.
Kind of like ambassadors or whatever.
Ambassadors, So they would show up. And some of them were hating a little bit, like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
really?
They're all going for the
for sure gonna
athlete
hate.
position, you know.
Wait, what? How do you know they're like? What were they saying?
I could just tell, man. Just kind of like
weird vibes.
Well, they would, the way they would say, "Hey, congrats on winning the sponsored athlete position," type of thing.
Oh, they like size you up and shit.
Hell yeah!
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
I can see that. I'd probably do that shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fuck that guy.
That guy's kind of suck. Fuck that. I checked out his Instagram.
Yeah.
He's not as big as he is in the pictures.
No. And so went out there and then came back and just kind of like I started like, you know, selling Monsters and Training supplements.
Yeah, you were grinding. You were grinding because you got like commission, right?
Yeah, I got some commission from it, and then also like that monthly stipend, which at the end of the 5 months we're gonna like restructure something else. I don't know. We didn't make it to that 5 month mark. What happened is they ended up getting sued by.
Wait. Before you get to that, kind of explain some of the shadier things that happened before that.
You got to remind me, man.
Like the Instagram stuff.
You got to remind me, man. Just say it.
Okay. Like how all of a sudden your Instagram started jumping up when you gave them the login and stuff?
So I had to give them my login to my Instagram, my Facebook, and my Twitter, which I wasn't very big on Twitter at all. But, I mean, I had like the only people I had friends on Facebook were like.
Are you still on Twitter?
Yeah, but I don't really do a whole lot with it. Should I do something?
Yeah, you should.
I should.
We'll talk about it.
We'll get you right.
So they took control of my kind of accounts, like the back end, and they were pretty open about it. Like we're gonna outsource like your accounts to like India, and
can you say that one more time, please?
To India, man.
Outsourcing
your account.
Yeah. So
you were like no eyebrows were raised.
Yeah, man. And so they would like. I don't know. They didn't like go into detail, but like talk about like how they would drive more people to view my shit,
right?
And potentially get more followers. But it turned out I was getting like followers, like not good followers. You know what I'm saying?
You're getting some fake followers.
So I'd get some real ones, but I get probably more fake ones than I did, and that was right at the time when I was probably at like 16, 17.
Yeah, you were at like 16, I think.
And I jumped up to like 30 something.
Like
you know what I'm saying? Like,
within a couple weeks,
yeah,
you were over 30,000.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Which I'm sure there's, and it was kind of shitty because like it's that Instagram grind wanting to get real followers type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's all about quality.
Well, it's not even just that. Like like people, I don't know. It's.
But it kind of opens up your mind to like all the people that have a lot of followers right now, because the majority of them if they have like 250,000 followers or 500,000 followers,
it makes you
look
wonder
at how many likes they have. I can guarantee you.
Yeah.
The majority of those are kind of fake if they're only getting like
if they're not doing it right, you know.
Yeah. And so that started happening, and that was kind of the most shady thing. I mean,
So after
that's like the first like eye-opening thing. I think,
right. After that, were you just kind of skeptical about
okay,
everything?
so that leads me into the next thing. So obviously, like Monsters in Training had like a lot of followers and shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you and I are thinking. I remember you kind of being skeptical, like, dude, I don't know about this, like how legit this is, until they flew me out.
Yeah.
And started paying for shit, right?
Yeah, I was a little skeptical at first,
so,
and then they flew you out. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, and so I remember you being skeptical because they're like, dude, I don't know, like, you didn't even think that the reward was real. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to see the check
because they did have a lot of followers, and they would get like a decent amount of likes and shit on their videos.
Yeah.
But I mean, they obviously had a lot of fake followers too from the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think what it was is like their investors. They had a couple investors that like really put a lot of money up front, type of thing. So they were kind of able to do that, and
they were really boosting this.
They were trying to like speed it up as fast as possible, type of thing, make it look legit as hell, like and really build it.
And they did look legit, you know. Aside from the fact that we had never heard of them until like you just kind of stumbled upon them that one time.
And I don't know. I mean, they obviously were making some traction though because they got sued.
Who'd they get sued by?
Monster Energy Drink is who sued them.
That's a pretty big company.
Yeah. And so they were like, I mean, they were hustlers, man. The people that owned the company and were involved, like the 3 top dudes in there, they would like work on the biggest type of, like GNC. Obviously, GNC is pretty big, but like big companies like that,
trying
like,
to get in
and out there, like they were like hitting the ground running, and obviously it caused some waves to make a Monster.
Yeah.
Be like, all right, maybe we should kind of stop them before they get going, type of thing. Or get enough money to fight us back on this. So they ended up, kind of closing it down, type of thing. Everything died out.
You never got all your money, huh?
No, so I think I got it right around like $3,000. But when I did go out there, man, like the dude, bought me some shoes, bought me some clothes, type of thing.
That's sick as fuck.
It was like legit. So I'm not
feeling like a superstar
I'm
out
not really
here.
complaining, man. I got $3,000 and
I mean,
free supplements and shit. So
free trip, bunch of supplements.
Got to see Denver, Colorado. That was a good time, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you probably got hella Hollywood after that trip.
Came back with a big ass head. He's like,
man.
"Fuck you, James. Take my picture."
Yeah,
not at all, man. I know, but it motivated me to keep going, and they wanted me to be like a full-time, kind of like take a stake, like they would do, like selling the supplements to like gyms,
right?
Big time companies.
I remember you were trying to sell it to the gym,
and GNC and like Grants Pass or like places around us, And so like when I left there, I was obviously like motivated, like I'll do this type of thing.
Right.
But then I started realizing, I guess a buddy that owned a gym, a different buddy, owned a gym. He bought a bunch of Monsters and Training supplements.
Like you sold him a bunch of stuff. Okay.
And I didn't really like get paid out for them right away, type of thing,
Yeah.
And so that's when I kind of like getting a little skeptical about this, because this is right around the time. Right around that time, they were kind of banking on me playing in MLFB, Major League Football. Right. They're like, oh, this is going to blow our brand up and everything. You can get everyone in Major League Football to kind of get on our products, type of thing.
Yeah.
Right after the Denver thing happened, I flew out there and came back. It was right around the time when Major League Football fell through for that year. So it was kind of like shitty for both of us, because they were counting on it. I was counting on it.
Yeah.
And so they ended up getting sued, and I didn't get paid out for like the products I sold, type of thing.
Did the guys that you sold the products to end up getting all their products too?
Yeah, they did get their products, but
was it a good product?
I mean, it was alright. It wasn't bad.
What did they have? Did they have like a pre-workout?
Pre-workout, protein, whey protein, BCAAs.
Okay.
They had a fat burner.
Like pretty standard stuff.
Yeah, pretty
standard
subs.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I got to learn like the whole. There's one guy that would kind of like my chauffeur, not really my chauffeur, I shouldn't call him that, but he would kind of drive me around everywhere to like
Hollywood ass fuck, dude.
This man,
my chauffeur
fit in this room after
chauffeur mode.
I don't know what to call him, man.
Damn.
But he was kind of awesome. He
had a chauffeur. Damn.
Like talking about the supplements and shit.
Yeah.
Like he would be like, because I would ask him, and I would just ask him like how much that shit costs for them to make, type of thing, because obviously I'm curious, I want to know how much money they're making, type of thing. And he's like, yeah, the other guys probably wouldn't want me to tell you this, but I'll tell you anyways, and kind of opened my eyes to I won't say it on here in case you guys actually get some.
No, the margin. I mean, it's well known that the margins are big in supplements. That's why people get into the supplement game.
Exactly. So and it like blew my mind.
We've been told the opposite though.
I don't know, man.
I mean,
It's hard.
some people.
It depends, dude.
It really
A
end up
lot of things.
at the end of the day. It depends who manufactures your supplements.
The quality, man.
The quality.
How
It
many
also
you buy.
the minimum quantity, and you know the amount of. Honestly, I think some of the numbers that some people have given us. Like we ran into some guy at an expo, and he was telling us we were just asking him questions about the supplement game, and he's like, yeah, I don't make any money off the whey protein. It's like,
Yeah.
then why do you make it? Like if you don't make any money, like what's
So
the
what are
point?
you doing?
That's why you do it. It's not
Yeah.
you're not doing it for the benefit of mankind. Like,
Yeah.
you're doing it
It's
to make
business
money. So
at
if you're
the
not,
end of
I don't know. I don't trust some people that say that they don't make a lot of money off supplements
Yeah.
because I've done some research and we've reached out to some supplement companies and all the numbers I've gotten back are
Legit.
they're legit. Like
Like intriguing.
yeah, you go. It makes you go into GNC and you look at the stuff on the
Oh,
on the
man.
on the wall and you're like,
Awful.
no way. Like
Especially the ones that are like $80, man. and you're
oh
like,
my god, there's a protein out here that I think somebody bought for $80.
I think it was $90
Yeah, $90
for
it's a
4 pounds or
4
something?
pound protein thing, and you look at it like yeah, it's all right. It's like it's pretty clean, but you look at the ingredients and it's like that didn't cost anywhere near that. They probably made
70
800% off that.
Yeah.
well, creatine's the big steal, right?
Yeah. That and fat burner
Yeah,
is what they were telling me is they made most of the money.
fat burners
It's just like
are
I don't know anything.
because
about
fat burners are
yourself.
basically a big scam for the most
Yeah.
part.
it. Yeah.
So yeah, that was interesting.
So it like, yeah, man, that whole experience must have opened your eyes to
Oh,
everything. Now, every time you see anything on Instagram,
Or like yeah,
You're like-
supplements and shit. Like yeah, no,
just don't
I
know.
hate having to buy stuff.
that's a
You
good
know?
lesson though.
But,
No, it is. It's huge.
And once I learned like how much they would pay for like one tub of protein type of thing, it started making me think like like I wanted to know what others were like some of the big name brands.
Oh, yeah.
Like like I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but I just wanted to know like their dollar figure compared to someone else what they spent on like because
Yeah.
it all
Oh yeah, you look at some of
means
the
like
brands.
quality like
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying if they're spending. I don't even know if I should say dollar signs on here, but
I mean
They're
it doesn't
spending-
matter. They're not a
Alright,
company anymore. So, I
they
mean,
would get like protein in. They would pay like around $7 for a tub of protein, sell that shit for like what, like $50-$60. You know what I'm saying? It's how much for one tube, yeah, or one tub.
and
So, I'm thinking like, is that like really the quality?
yeah,
Like,
is that
Yeah, that's
is
what I
that,
thought.
is that a
good
quality protein?
That's
Yeah,
what my
so
first thought was.
That's what it made me think. So, and the fat burner was even it was a couple dollars to make fat burner, and they sell that shit for
That's
65
probably
type of thing.
so expensive.
Damn.
Oh yeah, man.
Gonna spend
Probably
fat
just-
burners
it's
all the
probably-
way.
It's probably just a caffeine pill, literally.
That's all it was. A
It's probably
caffeine
just
pill.
a caffeine pill, and that's what most fat burners are. They market, and I don't know. It's tough. You can get some bullshit supplements, and then there are some legit supplements that actually do stuff.
Yeah.
But the problem is there's
crazy.
no regulation when it comes to supplements, and so you can have anything in it. Like that whey protein that costs them $7.
Yeah.
Maybe half of that is protein. The rest is like I forget
Some
who I was
fillers,
talking. Yeah, it could just be bullshit. Like
But I don't know. I mean, it's not like they had like bad intentions or anything.
No.
That could be what it was for like a lot of the companies.
Yeah,
around
that could
everything,
just be
so.
how it
there's
is.
a lot of companies out there, and a lot of them have bullshit products. A lot of them have good products. So
Yeah.
it's you just got to do your research.
Right.
And I mean, I think very few people actually set out to just fuck people over
Yeah,
when it comes
definitely.
to like that type of thing, But that's crazy.
Yeah. So that was my Instagram grind right there, man.
Yeah.
And then
It kind of
after
opened your
that
eyes up.
happened,
Huh?
Yeah, opened my eyes. What happened after that, man?
We
I
didn't.
was just on that grind for a little bit. Monsters in training.
Didn't you start losing followers after you were done with them?
Well, yeah, I did.
So all
yeah.
the,
They took them all back.
yeah.
I think
So you're like,
they
what the
just like
fuck?
whatever. What are they called again? You
The
know,
bots or
yeah,
whatever?
the bots. Whatever bot that they probably had on there, just kind of they ended it and shit just started falling off.
That sucks.
So it made me realize I probably have like 15,000 like real followers. Not that I really give them anything.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't-
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
But now you're back to your legit number, though.
Yeah, I'm
so
probably back to my legit number.
no fake followers here.
And so yeah, so after that happened, I was still like, pushing when I came back from Denver to like sell products and shit. And then I started realizing kind of how I was falling through. And then it was at a time where they wanted me to be like a full-time ambassador for that to be my income. And I'm sitting here telling them like, listen, you guys didn't really pay me out on this last. I sold up to $12,000 for him, or not $12,000, $1,200 on him on this one deal. And
Damn.
How much of that were you supposed to see? Probably.
I don't honestly. I don't.
Like
I don't
10%.
remember my.
Probably
I
like
don't
10%.
remember my commission.
Yeah.
No, it was more than 10%.
Oh,
It was
really?
like 40. Yeah.
40.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Fuck.
man.
Then.
Well, if their profits are that high.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
So.
Damn.
Yeah. So then
they fucked
it
you.
was like at a time when this dude that kind of told me a lot of was pretty honest with me, driving me around and stuff. I just
Your
asked
chauffeur?
him. Yeah, my chauffeur.
Chauffeur.
That's good.
Shout out
advice.
to the
I
chauffeur.
called him and I felt guilty too because it was like I wanted to do. We would get on conference calls weekly, like with their sales.
Oh, I
team and
remember
shit,
you
know
would
what I'm
do
saying?
that,
I
yeah.
would do that. And I was like, dude, I need to make money, like,
Yeah.
you know. And I was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this or if I gotta like get a full time job type of thing. And I ended up selling insurance for about 6 months and kind of like put the fitness stuff on the back burner. And that's kind of what started my way out of the Instagram grind. I mean, I still would post stuff for a while.
Yeah.
And then I realized insurance wasn't for me. Long story short, now I'm in law enforcement, and that's what I do now. I
Yeah.
work a lot of hours.
So don't break any laws because Christian will fuck you up.
No,
Yeah.
I
Look
won't,
at this
man.
man's arms.
I won't do that.
Damn, that's crazy though. That really, I mean, a lot of people don't know that though, like about Instagram and like social media. Like, there's a lot of tricks and there's
Oh,
some
yeah.
shady
for
ass
sure.
people out there that just take advantage of people.
Yeah.
That whole like shreds thing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, dude.
all
It's
that.
hard to trust anybody.
It makes you jaded, but
Yeah.
you just got to do your research into people and stuff
Yeah.
before you buy something or before you start buying meal plans or coaching off of somebody. Just because they have 200, 300,000 followers doesn't mean
Yeah.
it's legit.
I mean, you could pay for all those, man. There's people that would probably pay for all
Oh, dude.
200,000 followers
Yeah.
or whatever and sell their freaking.
Well,
meal
when
plan.
your whole career, is based upon your popularity on social media,
Yeah.
people are gonna do whatever the fuck it takes.
Yeah, seriously.
So that's great. I mean, I don't know. Stay woke, kids. That's all I gotta say.
That's the
lesson for today. Stay woke.
That's quite a story, man.
Yeah, good times, man.
Wow. So you're gonna get back into the Instagram fitness grind now?
I don't know, man.
I think it's day one, dude.
Today is day one right here.
He's been
I
at the
don't got nothing to post, so you won't see something. You won't see anything tonight. I'll tell you that.
Well, you're still here,
I'm still here, man.
and I got a camera,
We'll go do some photo shoot stuff right now.
and we got some shirts. So
yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was freaking fun as hell. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We'll see, man.
Being from around here, did you get like some weird looks and stuff from people for like all the social media, like when you're trying to build that up?
Yes and
'Cause
no.
it's kind of like a
So
smaller
I'm
area.
kind of like, if we're just being honest, I'm not. Obviously, you guys know I don't like to talk about myself. So obviously, like being one of the few guys to make it out of Rogue River and like actually play a college sport, like at a legit college type of thing.
that's something to be proud of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so
Be proud of
I mean, I was kind of already like,
For God's sakes.
people would watch me type of thing and kind of
Yeah.
see like what I would do. And there'd always, when I got into like that fitness kind of thing, there's a lot of people that would like, yeah, they would ask me like, oh, they would get involved type of thing. There's a lot of people that did that. And then obviously you have your haters, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, there's
But
always some haters.
a lot of them wouldn't really like,
From this area,
yeah,
haters.
Because Rogue
Yeah.
River's tiny.
tiny,
Like,
man.
How many people do you think live in Rogue River?
Oh, I'm not even going to guess, man. Not a lot.
Like,
15,
Let's
20,000?
just say my graduating class had less than 80, I think.
damn,
For my high school.
that's crazy.
So for people that don't know, Rogue River's like 15 minutes from where our gym is.
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes
Small
maybe.
town.
Super small town. And it's, damn, 80 people
Yeah.
in your class.
that's crazy.
So-
I think I had more people in one class than my,
My literal
in
class.
my
Yeah,
literal
man.
class.
So
than
it was small, man. And that's why, as far as like, I feel for people, I have a soft spot for people that come out of small schools. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
just want to help them. Because there's a lot of people that get involved in small schools that have kind of never been through the process of like trying to play college sport or anything like that, I didn't really have anyone that like really knew what it took to kind of get a full-on look and
Yeah.
get a
Yeah,
scholarship
they
type of
know.
thing. And when I did get help from one guy named Michael McGuire, I'll give him a shout out right now. He probably won't listen to this, but
You better be listening to
Yeah, you
this.
better.
yeah, he coaches down in California at a pretty big high school now. I don't remember what the high school's called. But he kind of like full on helped me. Like once he realized it was like midway through my senior year and I had like crazy numbers
Mhm.
in high school. And once he realized I didn't have any offers, he was kind of like, what the hell? Like kind of thought my head coach was doing all of it for me. And I didn't really know like how to put together a highlight tape. I was extremely naive. I thought it just kind of happened. Like
It just
I thought like I
magically happens.
run 300 yards every game type of thing, and like people are just gonna come knocking type of thing.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. You actually have to put your content out there, and so he started helping me, and it was kind of late in the game once we kind of got everything lined up because people were already receiving a lot of offers, and I got some like small interest from like Portland State or like some other D1AA schools. I had some like walk-on offers to bigger FBS schools.
Right.
But for me, I was like, at that time, I was like, I ain't walking on nowhere.
You need that scholarship.
You know what I'm saying?
You got that kind of
yeah.
Everyone's got kind of like that little like I'm better than that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I had the same thing.
Well, at the same time though, you know what you deserve.
Yeah, and
I mean, you know.
But a lot of the teams that at that level though, I'm not gonna lie, they wanted me to play defense, like strong safety area.
Damn, you would have been
like that.
Beast at strong safety, dude.
And for me, I wanted to run the ball.
Yeah, you want to run the rock.
So that's why I ended up going the JUCO route and ran down there, man. And I had some crazy numbers in JUCO, and then had some decent numbers at the 1AA level. And now I'm here, man.
And now you're on our podcast.
And now I'm on this podcast, man.
Imagine him
That's
at
a
strong
dream.
safety, though.
Yeah.
Dude, you could play anything. You could play D tackle if you wanted to.
Oh no, man. Hell no.
Shit.
So what are your workouts like nowadays?
Shoot, man. I work like on average 40 to 52 hours of overtime every week.
Yeah.
On a, so that's
so
a lot of hours.
You said you're in law enforcement.
Yeah.
Do you, when it comes to training, do you train to like get better at your job?
I just try to stay functional. So a lot of stuff like I don't just do the basic.
You don't do like bodybuilding type stuff.
Yeah,
really.
no. I try to be able to run. You know what I'm saying? Or like if I'm gonna, I work inside a jail right now, trying to get to the road.
Right.
And a lot of times, like if you're on like you slam people to the ground or have to, you know what I'm saying? So I try to think of stuff like that. So I do a lot of stuff with like medicine balls and make sure
is that like a daily thing? Having like getting
into. Could be if you wanted to.
Well, if you want to slam somebody, you can find somebody to slam.
No, I mean like getting into altercations with people and stuff. Is that like a daily thing?
Yeah, it's pretty much daily.
Fuck, that's crazy, dude.
But it doesn't like escalate to that. After doing it for a while, like when you're new, like shit's kind of awkward for you. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like so people people will try to test you. You see it on TV, like in certain shows, it's not that realistic, but people test the new guys. So like when you first start out, they're like, they're gonna test you, and then once they see you freaking hurt somebody, they're not gonna test you anymore. So that's kind of what happens. But no, I definitely try to stay functional. But my workout time is probably like 45 minutes.
How many days a week do you average right now?
At least 4, but I try to make it 5, 6, but most likely 4. Yeah. 4. But when I'm in there for 45 minutes, I'm like trying to kill it.
You're moving around.
You know me, like I always do circuits and stuff, so it's like I don't ever just do one lift and get on my Instagram for freaking couple of minutes and then lift again.
It's a James Mooney workout program right there. That's what I'm on right now.
You know what I'm saying?
10 sets of Instagram.
Superset with Twitter.
Supersets with
Twitter.
Man. So maybe a little a Snapchat grind every now and then.
Hey, man. It's funny. Yeah, so that's...
I feel like that kind of job would also be like mentally taxing.
Oh, yeah.
Like I wouldn't really want to do anything after work.
I generally work out before work, but if I had to work out after,
so you go into work swole as fuck.
They know not to. He has to get that Guido pump good, before he goes in. The Guido pump.
Yeah, that's crazy,
dude. No, but it's fun. Like, and I think a lot of people that do play like a physical sport, I think it's an easy transition for a lot of. Not I wouldn't say easy, but like
you're still knocking heads.
Yeah, they're like able to transition better than a lot of people who've like never played a sport because like as far as like the training process when it comes to law enforcement, and I'm just speaking kind of for like inside the jail right now. It's kind of like they try to break you down type of thing. You deal with a lot of negative.
Right.
They want to try to break you type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
So it's how you bounce back or like how you like respond to it. And a lot of guys that haven't played a sport or have never done anything that involves discipline and having to push through freaking the hard times type of thing.
That's
a lot
the best
of those
part
guys like get let go type of thing. So
that's the best part about football.
Yeah.
Discipline.
Oh,
that's the biggest thing about sports in general. Like, and when I see people that don't do sports or like their kids don't do sports when they're growing up, it's like that's what you need. Like, because that teaches you how to work with other people. It teaches you how to be responsible and accountable to other people and not be a fuck up.
Yeah, man.
So much more than just like
I mean, it's
not just a sport. It's mental shit.
Oh yeah, and it's changing a little bit now, man. I told you the other day, my son goes.
Tell the story.
Oh yeah. So I don't remember what I was playing some type of
game. So you have
2
kids, right?
2 kids.
Okay.
Man. So my son's 5. My older son's 5. I got a 1-year-old also, but I don't remember. I think I was playing Call of Duty or something like that on TV. You know, I get a little mad at the TV because I play with one of my younger brothers. I still try to stay young
Xbox?
and play games. No, PS4, man.
Oh, all right.
And so I get back, I like yell at the TV, like kind of jokingly, because I do it to get my wife going or something, and get a reaction out of her. And then my son goes, says something like, "Dad, you don't need to get mad. You play to have fun. You don't play to win." And so I get all upset in the middle of this game, like I have to put the controller down and look at him and be like, "Bro, you don't play to freaking have fun, all right? You play to win. You know, I mean, it's fun to play, but no, to get that freaking new mindset out of your freaking head right now, you play to win.
You play to win.
Play to win. It's fun to win, all right?" And so my wife starts chirping in, "Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that," type of thing. Like this whole freaking, I call it the liberal mindset, but I don't want to get into this.
That new age mindset.
Yeah, man. So
that's all right.
It was like the participation trophy freaking mindset right there. So you got to hope that whatever sport they're involved in, they got a coach that is not play to have fun all the time. You know, I mean, it's different at a younger age.
Yeah, but I mean, at a younger age, you got to have fun because otherwise you're not going to want to keep playing.
Yeah.
Right. At a certain point, it is.
Yeah.
You don't fucking play to. I played on a team my freshman year. We lost every fucking game. My freshman year of high school.
Oh.
We lost every single fucking game. Like bad.
Yeah.
I remember we lost like 58-0 against fucking Calabasas. Yeah. And that shit sucked.
Oh yeah.
I never wanted to fucking lose again.
Yeah.
I was playing with some dudes and they were like, "Oh yeah, let's go party." Like, nah, dude, I'm pissed, man. We fucking got our asses embarrassed.
Yeah. I was gonna say the same thing.
Probably wasn't as fun, was it?
No, it's not fucking fun. It sucks, dude.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed to go to school the next day. Like, this is fucking embarrassing.
Being 0-11 or whatever the hell.
Yeah, 0-11
doesn't have a very good record either, but yeah, I know how that is, man.
Yeah, you don't play to fucking lose.
Oh no, play to win,
man. But that's what sports teaches you, man. It teaches you to hate losing.
It's good.
Anyway, should we do some current events?
See if you want.
Let's do some current events. How about that football game last night? Actually, now that we think about it,
that was
that Minnesota.
I just saw the highlight at the end.
You didn't watch the game? Oh,
I watched it.
I'm back on my bills, man. I don't got TV.
I watched that shit last night. I was sitting on the couch like jaw dropped for like 20 minutes.
That safety hates himself. I'll tell you that,
dude.
Hates himself.
But dude,
right now.
you know what's funny?
That's the issue with the NFL, though. Too many people don't know how to fucking tackle.
Yeah, but the funny part about that guy, number 43, I forget what his name is. But in the game, that dude had an interception that kept the Saints in the game.
Yeah,
and everybody loved that dude.
Yeah,
like he was like a saint.
You know,
right? You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
And then now he's like the most hit. He disabled all the commenting on his Instagram and stuff. Like
I would too.
For sure. Yeah.
Just because people suck, dude.
Yeah. Well, there were screenshots of comments on his Instagram page, and every single comment was just horrible. But yeah, dude, crazy, I don't even know. My first thought was like he showed up too early. He didn't want to get the PI. Yeah. But then I was thinking like, but at the same time, why are you showing up so early? You're an NFL safety.
Well, not even just early, but like you don't need to make a play on the ball. If the dude catches it, there's no time on the clock. Literally, you just have to be there to make the tackle.
Right.
There was a guy in front of it making a play on the ball. You don't have to break up the pass. He can catch it, and you guys still win the game. Like, oh man,
that's rough. Huh?
It's crazy, dude. I don't know.
Oh man,
I feel bad for him.
I feel bad for him too, man, because I know he's probably extremely hard.
Isn't he a rookie too?
I
think he was a rookie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
it was just insane, dude. I don't know. And Stephon Diggs was like he celebrated for like 40 minutes.
Threw off his helmet. I saw that.
Yeah.
Man.
I saw a tweet this morning. It was like Stephon Diggs is doubtful for next week as he's still celebrating from the win last
Probably
night.
hungover. Oh man, that dude can. He's never gonna buy a drink again in Minnesota.
He was the man.
That's fun.
We appreciate you being on here, Christian.
I appreciate
sharing
you guys
the story,
having me,
man.
That's fun. You are officially the first guest we've ever had.
I feel so honored.
First nominee for guest of the year right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are.
I'm all about the awards.
You're in the
man.
lead for
I'm all
guest
about
of the year
award.
right now.
Yeah. So that's pretty dope.
Well, we appreciate it. Check out Christian. You want to drop your like Instagram or something?
Where can people find you?
Yeah, where can they find you?
Oh man, I gotta remember these
Yo,
names.
Dude, you gotta look your Instagram name up right now.
Hey,
Are
I
you
don't get
serious?
on there- I don't get on there very often
That's
anymore.
crazy.
I'm gonna pick it up though. Here we go. It's Christian Reyes 20 is my Instagram at Christian Reyes 20.
No
Just spelled
underscores or
normal,
anything?
normal Christian, no underscore. Reyes is REYES and the number 20.
20.
All
All
right.
right.
I think
Yeah.
that's the only thing that I mean I could give you my Instagram or
No,
my Twitter, but I'm not very.
But you
big
got to
on
pull Twitter
so-
up, but that'll
Yeah,
take too long.
that'll
so.
take too long.
Let's not do that.
Just look the man up on Instagram, and then you can probably link to his Twitter from there.
Yeah.
Anyway, we appreciate having you, Christian.
Yeah, it was fun, dude.
I appreciate you guys having me.
You have a good time?
It was a good time. it went a lot better than I thought. I'll
you're
tell
like,
you that.
I'm so nervous about talking.
Oh, this is-
I'm gonna be so boring.
I didn't
don't
say
know.
nervous, man. I just say I can be awkward.
You can be
sometimes.
real
That's
with
it,
us.
man.
It's all right.
Yeah. I
It's
get a
all
little
good.
camera shy. This is not really like a camera, but kind of is
Yeah.
at the same time.
The YouTubes are watching.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man, my back's to it though. You know.
So that's it.
They're looking at your tricep right now. Anyway, if you guys could do us a favor and like and subscribe
To both the podcast.
to both the podcast and the YouTube channel. Make sure you leave a 5-star review on iTunes and Stitcher, whichever one you're listening on, because it really helps us spread the podcast. Yeah, we'll be back next week.
Yep. Check us out, gunsmithbrand.com.
Yeah,
Pick up some
new dad
whatever
hats.
you need.
New
We
dad
got
hat.
you.
New dad hats just dropped. So check them out. Gunsmithbrand.com. It's your boy James.
It's Rob.
Christian, see you next time.
Peace.